Free agency has hit college football. That's one thing I bet you never thought you'd ever hear. College football is supposed to be all about scholarships and commitments and being there for 3 or 4 years. Now, the NCAA's decision to allow former Georgia quarterback and fake punter Justin Fields to play immediately at Ohio State, they've opened up Pandora's box. Now, there will be basically free agency in college football. First, let's talk about Fields. It's incredible that he lawyered up and sold the NCAA a lie about being uncomfortable in Athens. You may remember early last season when a UGA baseball player was heard in the stands using an inappropriate racial term to describe Fields. Fans heard it, reported it, and Adam Sasser was kicked off the baseball team. That was on October the 3rd, after the Georgia football team had already played 5 games. Fields stayed the rest of the season. His sister even enrolled at Georgia and joined the softball team. It's not like he was so offended by what happened that he left in midseason. But when it became obvious that Fields was not going to unseat Jake Fromm, who was never going to lose his grip on the starting quarterback job, Fields got an attorney and concocted this story about how he was not going to be able to play baseball at Georgia because of what happened. Now again, the player who made the comment was kicked off the baseball team, and yet the story was that Fields was going to feel uneasy about playing baseball because of what happened. We don't even know if UGA baseball coach Scott Strickland was going to allow Fields to play baseball. But that was the story they sold to the NCAA, and the NCAA bought it. The NCAA has this stupid new rule that allows a transfer to play immediately if the situation merits a number of conditions. The condition states, and I quote, "The transfer is due to documented mitigating circumstances that are outside the student-athlete's control and directly impact the health, safety, and well-being of the student-athlete," unquote. But believe me, this was not about what Sasser said. This was not about Fields not being able to feel comfortable if he played baseball at Georgia. And by the way, he now says he's not even going to play baseball at Ohio State. This was about Jake Fromm. This was about a player getting upset he wasn't going to be able to unseat a starter at his position and deciding to cry about it. And the dumb NCAA bought it. So just think of what's next. Just think if in May, after the spring practices all around the country, think of the players who might realize they may not play as much this coming season like they thought they would. So they decide to lawyer up, come up with some dumb excuse, and convince the NCAA they need to transfer and be allowed to play immediately. Forget about following the rules and sitting out a year. This will be all about playing immediately. So they can serve their time in the NFL's minor leagues and then become professional. What's next? Trades? Might we see a time in the future when Georgia can trade an extra offensive lineman to LSU for a defensive back? Well, that may sound stupid, but wouldn't it have sounded just as stupid a few years ago if I had said free agency is in full force in college football? Probably so.